Okay, y'all, I'm going to pray for us before we get started because if your week's been like mine, you need a little prayer. Lord God, we just thank you so much for today. We thank you for this time together as leaders where we can just talk about our businesses, about life, encourage each other, and just know we're not alone in this. And so I pray for the training today that everybody would leave encouraged with new ideas and inspiration, and that we would just be able to help more people from this. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right, you guys. Okay, we're gonna do a little something real quick. Okay, so just go ahead and bear with me because this is a housekeeping thing. You probably saw my post yesterday. Can you see this in English or Spanish? Did you see that post? So here's what we're kind of testing out, and more is kind of coming on this. But we want to be able to utilize both the Wellness Warrior Business Builders page, which also had a name change, and the Wellness Made Simple testimony group. We want to be able to utilize those groups in both English and Spanish, okay? And so there's something that I need you guys to do, especially if you're posting in those groups, and it is to open your Facebook app and change one setting real quick, okay? So Allie, Allie was like, it required me to put in my password and I don't know it. So it may require you to put in your password. You may have to do this later if you can't do it right now, but you're gonna just go up here to menu. You're gonna go to settings, and then you're gonna scroll down and you'll see one that says language and region. Okay. At the very bottom, there is one that says share your post in multiple languages. What this is gonna do is it's gonna, when it's turned on, it allows Facebook to take any post you've made and translate it for people whose setting is in Spanish. Okay. So when we're sharing each other's posts or sharing different things to comment, like this way, people who speak Spanish, they'll see it that way and vice versa. There's some other settings you can play with here. If there's any languages that you understand and you don't want translated, you can set that up. If you know, you can just kind of play with this language you'd like to have post translated into, those kind of things. So that is just the one setting I wanted everybody to turn on. That way, as we grow, here's what's cool, y'all. Roosevelt posted a testimony in the testimony group in Spanish, and guess what? I see it in English. So it's really going to allow us more access to more testimonies. Julie, question.
The same thing Chelsea asked. Where is it again on
It's
Facebook?
in menu and then the little cog at the top, settings,
Yes.
and then you scroll down to language and region.
Is the first thing you see tools and resources?
Yes, but it's below that in the next
Which
preference.
option? Which option, Tracy?
It's the share
Oh,
your
I
post
found it.
in multiple languages. You want to turn it on. What, Julie?
I found it. It's
Okay.
in the middle of the preferences.
Yes. And then Danny, what Mary Carmen realized is under that one, that the third one down that says languages you don't want to be offered translations for, she had English and Spanish turned on, Mary did, because she can read both languages. So she like was only seeing English post in English and only seeing Spanish post in Spanish. But once we played with the settings, it was auto translating everything. So just so you guys kind of know what is happening there. We changed the name of the Wellness Warrior Tools Group to Wellness Warrior Business Builders. You'll notice at the top it says United States, Canada, Puerto Rico, and Mexico. As we expand as a team into Australia, we'll add that up there, and then English and Spanish. So that way it is this kind of all-encompassing business builder group. Each month, you'll see a post in there that has the Canadian specials, the US specials, and the Mexico specials. And then the cool thing is we only have to post those in one language, and then the translation can be seen automatically by the people who don't speak English or don't speak Spanish. So that's pretty cool. And then we'll start posting about the Sunday night calls in there. We don't want it to be overwhelming, like random posts every day, really just keeping it to business building tools so that you know this is where I go to find event info. Because some of that stuff is just getting lost in the chat thread at this point. So we're not doing shout outs in there. Shout outs will stay in the chat thread. Okay. But like if you're looking for the Thursday event graphic, we'll get that up there. If you're looking for the Sunday event graphic, you'll see that up there. Anything else like business particular will be in there. Kind of working right now on getting some Spanish tools in that group also. We have an English album with all the product images. We'll likewise have a Spanish album with all the product images there. That way it's all there. And here's the cool thing, you guys, that I'm really excited about. I know both Allie and Kim at different points in their business have been like, I need something in Spanish for a friend or for somebody's mother or for somebody like that. We're gonna have all these tools here for everybody to use. Okay, so this is gonna be really exciting. Any questions on that? Okay, awesome. We're really excited about it. Okay, we are gonna jump into some training today, y'all, and I'm really excited about this, but I want to kind of share with you how this came about. Michelle was on my power hour yesterday, so she got the 411. I literally did a little training on Power Hour and it was so exciting. And the messages I got from people afterwards were like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense. Okay, last Friday, do y'all remember when I asked if you had told every customer who joined you from July about the opportunity and most everybody said no? Right? Jason remembers that. It was a big deal, Jason. You got to tell your customers the whole story. I know. And so I started thinking about this and I was talking with my coach about this, about how we are duplicating, like we're seeing some duplication as a team. You guys are having really great business conversations. It's still not this rate of duplication that would lead to what we call massive momentum, where 10 to 20% of customers who join you are sharing and going silver. That is kind of what I would look at as massive momentum. If we had 120 people join, 25 of those would become brand ambassadors. Does that make sense? Like, that's kind of the rate of like, okay, we're still at about 5% of people upgrading, which is really good. But what if we told more people? So I started talking with my coach and kind of talking about this. And what we realized is that everybody's using customer care system, right? We're having more customers added to Wellness Warrior than ever before, to get at us WNStar ever before. Everybody's being added. People are downloading Pivotal. And then there's this one message in there where if you're like me, you're skipping it. Or you're sending it and you're not following up on it. And it's the message that's like, we know you're 80% more likely to see the best results if you have accountability. Have y'all seen that in the customer care board? And you're like, that feels really odd to send right now. I don't know. Or like you send it and you're like, okay, I sent it. I said it. I said it. And so this is where we're gonna make a change. And I want to invite you in on this. So what is the whole story with Plexus? Like if somebody's joining you as a VIP, what do they need to know to be able to actually make the best decision for themselves? What are the pieces of Plexus that somebody would need to know?
I feel like I got the 411 earlier, but it has to do with your referral link and what it can be used for.
Yeah. Are there options? Like when somebody comes in as a VIP, are they only a customer?
No, they have lots of things.
They have lots of options. But how many times are we just like, let's just let them be a customer. Like, I don't want to push them. Let's just let them be a customer. And so what we kind of came up with was this verbiage talking about 3 paths. Okay. And y'all, we used to do this years ago when some of y'all, I think Michelle was still with Plexus then. Allie, you may have been before the transition. Most of y'all weren't here then, where we had people, they could join retail, they could join preferred, or they could join as a brand ambassador. And we would tell them about these 3 options and let them make the best choice for themselves. And then when everybody started coming in as a VIP customer, as simple as that made it, it kind of took away this conversation that there are options here. Okay. And so here is the message. Okay. This is the message that in a little bit, I'm going to challenge you to send to everybody who's joined you since July. Okay. Unless they aren't ordering anymore. They've straight up told you, no, thank you. Okay. Right. There's situational things. But here's it. I'm just going to lay it out here. Hey, Jen, I know you're doing great on your products and that makes me so happy. I wanted to message you because I realized that when you joined Plexus as a VIP customer, I didn't take the time to tell you about the different paths available. I know right now you are loving the products and this is a great place to be. That's the first path. Okay. So what is path one? We're going to be interactive today. Yeah.
Just a VIP.
Just a VIP who loves the products, downloads the Pivotal app, is plugged into Wellness Warrior community. Maybe they're taking advantage of the perks program. And that's a great path. But you guys, if you're stopping there, you're actually missing two other paths. And chances are there's a lot of people on path one that don't even know about path 2 or 3. Or they don't think you want them to be on path 2 or 3. The second path some people take is using their referral link to help friends and family feel their best. You can either get product credit for each referral, and it's super low key and tons of fun. Sometimes people will make a post or even host an event to share. So what is the second path?
Occasionally sharing your referral link.
Referral.
Would you stay a VIP customer?
Yes.
Yes.
And take one-time product credit.
Take one-time product credit. Yep. The third path is really looking to see what Plexus could be as an income opportunity for you. We have an incredible compensation plan, and I love helping customers walk this path because it's what has transformed our future. In fact, this month, Plexus is offering over $550 in Cash for Christmas program for new brand ambassadors who refer 4 friends. So that I can serve you well, I think it's important that you know about these 3 paths. And when you get a minute, I'd love to hear from you which one sounds like the path you'd like to take, and I'll meet you there. Do you feel like this is a conversation you can have with every VIP customer?
I do.
Does it make it a little bit more, instead of trying to hoodwink you or like sneak attack you, I'm actually telling you the whole story and letting you choose where you want to go?
Yes. Yes.
Does it feel like you could say this to somebody who you've never even talked to about the opportunity?
Yes.
Yes.
I think this is a shift that is going to change a lot of things for us as a team, because I think we're having business conversations with people, but we're not telling everybody the whole story. And sometimes we're not telling people about path 2. It's like path 1 or path 3,
Oh, I see.
right? How many of you have ever hosted a party for a friend with no intention of ever, right, doing the business? I've hosted Usborne book parties. I think back in the day, I hosted a Pampered Chef party long time ago, right? No intention of actually becoming an ambassador with that company, but I liked the products and I wanted to help my friend out and I wanted to get some free stuff, right? And so I think this makes it to where we can literally, as your team grows, as our team collectively grows, getting to the end of the month and being like, all right, y'all, right now we've added 41 new VIPs as a team. Insane. They haven't all been told the whole story. However, I think next week, when we've enrolled 75 already, I think we can confidently be like, and they all have heard the whole story. Like they've all been offered the 3 paths. They've all been told about what's possible. We're having more people shout us out in a post. You see how I put that in there? Sometimes they'll shout you out or host an event. We're having more events so that we can use the tools that we have and the systems we have in place, okay? So this is kind of where we're headed, where duplication becomes not a sneak attack, not a, right? There's all sorts of systems we've heard about. The frog system, the buddy system, there's just so many, the bold ask, right? What if we just put it out there in a way that everybody could tell everybody about and it never felt weird? Okay. So this is the proposition. This is what we're going to do in like 15 minutes. We're literally going to go through our customers from July onward, and we're going to send them this message. I already had somebody respond who we talked about the opportunity before, and she wasn't close to it, but she responded yesterday and she was like, you know, I've been thinking a lot about what we've talked about, and I think I may be ready to walk path 3. Like, wow. I mean, I thought I was bothering her. So hearing that as her response, I was like, well, okay, I'm going to invite you to Sunday night's opportunity call. That's going to be my next step, right? Again, we've got all these tools in place, but I think sometimes we don't know how to get people into the tool that we have. Okay, any questions on this?
Are you voice messaging or did you send it?
I'm sending it, that one I'm sending as a written message.
Okay. Can you share it? And then I'm just going to copy and paste and send them out.
I'll share it in the chat. But I'm going to wait until we do that work time because otherwise you're all going to be sending them right now. Any other questions? Does this feel life-giving? Does this feel like, oh my gosh, yes, this is what we've been missing. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I truly, it like blew my mind when I was like, yeah, that makes so much more sense to just paint the whole picture instead of trying to like micro control somebody to path 3 when maybe they want path 2, which would be really great too, right? Okay, 3 paths. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about real quick is utilizing the reset for duplication. Raise your hand if you had people resetting with you. Keep your hand raised if they've seen awesome results. Yeah. This is when you leverage this for duplication. So Allie, when we get off, is going to share a shout out post. And you are going to ask, maybe what we need to share first, Allie, is a message people can use to ask people for the shout out. So like, hey, I know you've seen incredible results with the reset. You may not know this, but your friends can get a free reset to this month. If I sent you a post to make, shouting out your reset results, inviting your friends to do this with you, would you make it? Okay, you guys, you just ask people. You just ask. Maybe they say yes, maybe they say no. Okay, now here's the cool part. This can lead into the 3 paths. When they say yes, you can respond and be like, that's so awesome. I'm so excited for you. Hey, so I can make sure you have the full story. You see where we're going here? Here's the paths available. Let's go ahead and make that shout out post. And then I'd love to hear from you. Are you thinking more path 2 or path 3? Okay. If they say no, hey, thanks so much for getting back to me. You know, when you joined, I realized I didn't really tell you about everything available with Plexus. I'd love for you to have the full story. Y'all see where this is headed? I'd love for you to have the full story. And so here's kind of the 3 paths you can take as a VIP customer. Are you happy on path 1? You can literally ask that. Are you happy on path 1? Seems like you might be happy on path 1. Like, and I wanted to let you know there are 2 other paths also. This really can flow together. And y'all, if you get stuck anywhere when messaging about this, just snap a screenshot and send it to the Wellness Warrior Leaders thread. Like sent this message, got this response, not sure how to respond. There's going to be probably a lot of that as we're kind of getting comfortable with this. And Allie found this awesome board. Allie's like, I find a lot of awesome boards, Tracy. She found this awesome board, and this is kind of where we're headed with all of this. If you can find some people who are ready to walk path 3 and plug them in to Sunday night's opportunity call, then we have content for you to lead a Silver and 6 group next week. I would recommend groups being about 3 to 5 deep. So we're not doing this as a large team, okay? What would be best is if you had 3 to 4 people who said they wanted to walk path 3, okay? Stephanie, like you would have your people and Yvonne's people. You wouldn't throw Yvonne to the wolves and be like, host your own group, right? Like you would help people. Kelly, maybe you and Chelsea partner together for something if you both had a couple. You know what I'm saying? Like you can grab somebody. Don't limit it if somebody's like, hey, could I do this with you? And you're like, oh, we already have 4 and they have 2. Just yes, come on in. We got this. I just don't think it's best for me to lead one big group because then nobody else takes ownership in a way. Does that make sense? But here's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get in systemically as much as we can before Thanksgiving. We're trying to get as many people sharing next week as possible because then when Black Friday comes, y'all, and I don't know what it is yet, but I do know that Plexus has a plan for that. It is a slam dunk. We're at the 8th of the month. We've got time. And so I am having this conversation with as many people as possible with the goal of having 3 personal level ones who I am helping go fast start silver next week. We have a board for you with this content. We can share. I'll get to that in a second. It's very simple. It's not pages of information. It's 3 tasks a day. And I know in my group, what I'm going to do is I am going to tell anybody if they complete the 6 days and enroll 2 VIPs, they're going to get a Wellness Warrior t-shirt. So I'm going to leverage some things there to help them. Okay. To give them incentive to lean in for 6 days. I'm going to do the work with them and I'm going to invite them to do this with me. But this is kind of where we're headed. So we've got the reset happening. We've got the 3 path strategy. We're going to plug people into Sunday night's opportunity call. If they can't be on, that's great. You can still do this Silver and 6 group with me. Do you have 30 minutes a day for the next 6 days that I can help you earn $550 in Christmas cash? You see how if you compress that into a week, it's more doable than getting into Thanksgiving and then the kids that are out of school and then. And you guys, this is such that you're now going to model this for their new customers coming in. Here's what we send them. We send them this message and then we send them this message. And every new customer coming into Wellness Warriors is going to be told about the 3 paths. Can you just imagine, can you imagine what this could do for your business if every single person was told the whole story? And if a few said, I want path 2, and a few said, I want path 3, how would that change things? Okay, questions, comments, excitement.
I came in late, but I'm excited about that. I don't feel like I haven't offered all my VIPs option 1, 2, and 3, just letting you know. So I feel like, is it maybe I'm not making a big deal about it, you know? Or maybe, you know how sometimes when you purchase something and you're told about everything and you're like what? You know, Tracy, like when you did the reset and the triplex, I didn't understand anything about the triplex. I was just like, I just wanted the detox. So I'm feeling like maybe me thinking that I already offer all the information is not enough. Maybe I need to revise that.
I think
Yeah.
that's why coming back to people a month, 2 months later and sending this, hey, I realized I probably didn't send you the whole story. It
Mhm.
gives them a space to kind of process and think about it. You know what I'm saying? If you have happy customers, you could send them this message. Okay? Some of you may need to circle back, just change the thing. Hey, I feel like we've probably talked about this before, but I wanted to circle back and make sure I'd explained these 3 paths to you that you can take as a VIP customer. You see where we're going here? And then when somebody's loving the products, you can be like, hey, remember there's path 2 and 3. Have you thought any more about that? Could I tell you more about that? Would you want to hop onto an opportunity Zoom and learn more about that? Right? It is opening the door to be able to talk about anything and hopefully catching those first people who will say yes immediately. They are out there. You guys, Michelle started sharing Plexus before her products arrived. I started sharing 2 weeks into my journey. Allie started sharing the day her products arrived, I think. Mary Carmen was a month. Danny was pretty quick. Like, people will share if we tell them the whole story. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to work for a little bit, okay? We're all ready to work. I'm going to share the message in the Wellness Warrior Leaders chat so you guys can grab it. And we're going to first send that to any customers who are still ordering that have joined you since July, okay? That's the first place we're going to go in and do this because those are typically people who are in their first 3 to 4 months. They're feeling really good, right? And making sure they know about that is going to be the best option. Okay, let me copy and paste this. Oh my gosh, my sweet friend Sam, she said, possibly number 3, this economy is kicking my butt. For real, y'all.
Exciting. I love that.
I think
That's where people,
the closer and closer we get to Christmas, people are going to be open. They're going to be open.
I tell you what. And I love that this is coming from a place of genuine service, okay? So there's going to be a tweak to this. What we're going to kind of do later today is Allie and I have been working on this board that like a lot of y'all don't have the paid boards app, right? So you got 3 boards that you can access. So what we're trying to do is create one board that is Wellness Warrior Tools that has folders with all of these common questions, customer care system, message ideas, all the things that you would need in here. So it should be one board for you, okay? And so I will share that board with y'all once we get the customer care system message updated. And just know we're going to kind of start using these things. And in this board, Danny, what we can do is as you translate things into Spanish, we can have a folder in the Wellness Warrior Tools that's like in Espanol with similar things, right? So I don't think it's like it has to all be done right away, but just as you translate things, we can just add them in there. Yeah. Okay. If we've already shared the opportunity with them as one of our big, bold business asks, do we just not ask again? Did they respond, Kelly?
Yes. So she responded, she's doing like the Restore BioCleanse Ease. She's like, perimenopausal, and she is very busy and has like a full-time job. And so, I just kind of said, I know you're loving how you're feeling, what would you think about inviting some people to do this with you? And she was just like, I'm super flattered, but I just don't have the bandwidth kind of thing, in her life. So I don't, I don't know if that's like, I don't want to like beat a dead horse with people either.
No, but this is where I would say like a month from now, when she's still loving her products and feeling good, then you could be like, hey, like, I just want to make sure I laid this out because I know you said you were busy. There is this path too, where you can just make a shout out post, see if any of your friends want to do this. I'll care for them as my own, and you'd make some referral bonuses. Does that sound more like what you might be open to doing? Like, but I would not beat a dead horse. Like, if you sent that last week and she said that, I wouldn't go at it right now. I would just maybe make a note, like, maybe towards honestly, maybe like end of next week. Has she done a reset or no?
Mm-mm.
So maybe end of next week, you just reach out to her and you say, like, hey, I know you said you were really busy right now. However, I just wanted you to know, like, if any of your friends had been interested in trying this with you, they could get a free reset. Have you talked to anybody about what you're doing? Like, approach it from that standpoint,
Okay.
which is kind of what I did with you, with your mom and sister.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, your friends could get this. Have you talked to anybody about what you're doing?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would do.
Okay. That's good.
I'm gonna